like architecture is really the star of public space, when in actuality, we're architecture, the buildings themselves are just the frames, and really the star of public space is really the public space itself, the streets, the plazas, the squares, and the seafronts. So for those four who responded correctly, kudos to you. Next, this book challenged the growing tendency towards rigid symmetry in contemporary urban design, including the isolated placement of churches and monuments in a large open plot. So most of you got this, the 1889 City Planning According to Artistic Principles, written by Camillo Site. And most of you answered Garden Cities of Tomorrow. So if you Google Garden Cities of Tomorrow, the first thing you'll see is this is a totally symmetrical plan of a city. So that doesn't apply. That means like we're doing the opposite. We're doing incremental asymmetrical development. So that's what the that's what Camillo Site in his book City Planning According to Artistic Principles was trying to go against. Okay. Next, over here, 96% answered correctly. So yes, that's number one is path. Number two is um wait, what's here? What is number one, four, and five? So one is path, four is node, and then five is landmark. Two is um I think edge, and then three is I forgot what three is. I had to double check that. See, what are some impacts of good accessibility in a city? So more transportation options, less congestions, and environmental impacts. So this one is again one of my older questions. I should probably remove this. Less traffic, more positive environmental impacts, and less transportation options. So it's only wrong here at the last part. Less transportation options. So you have to have more options to have less congestion. So that's really the point of this. I think we touched on it briefly last meeting, but you could see it in the recording video that I posted on the module. This one over here, if I open up the modules. Nom, nom, nom. My throat really gets dry these days. I don't talk as much. Let's see here. So that discussion is over here. Moten's introduction video, and I put timestamps. Just the first half of this video. We'll go back to this next week. I summarized it all in like one meeting. So this time I have more preparation, so I have more time to like segregate and separate the topics and discuss it more clearly. Okay, so this one is my newer questions. This I really highlighted this before the class, so everyone got it correct. Next, over here, select all that apply. Which of the following is included in the term public domain? So street, square or plaza, and seafront. So let's see here. Some had no answer, some answered sidewalk. So sidewalk is part of the street. Okay, which of the persons below were Renaissance architects that also wrote books on the design of public space? So majority of you got it. It's Alberti and Palladio. And I finally found the English translation, The Art of Building and the Four Books of Architecture. And then over here, Camillo's site was significant because he advocated for two key principles. That's incremental development and public participation. So that's 71%. Everyone knows Daniel Burnham, 52% over here. So this is a bonus point. Let's see. Loaded or kanang promoted or praised by Moten. I think I should have used like a more common term as the father/mother of modern urban design. And I put father/mother there because like, I wanted to like confuse you guys just to make sure. So this is actually in the introduction over here. Let's see. This patient particular. I highlighted here somewhere. Is it? Okay. Somewhere. I have too many highlights. Death and life of American cities, reconstruction, internal hegemony, pluralism, Alexander. Crap, I need to find it again. But anyway, it's somewhere here. Here we go. Page 3. Uh, let's see. Site's main preoccupation was the artistic design and decoration of streets and squares, and as such, he would more accurately be described as the founder of urban design. I should have just said founder, so I don't have the father mother there. But yeah. So key points we need to remember: we are focusing on public space. Public space means the streets, the squares, and the seafronts. It doesn't mean the building. The building is just the frame of public space, basically the wall. And what we're designing is the room. The room is the public space, the streets, the squares, etc. So over here, I have a plan of, I have the satellite view of Baguio, Baguio City. And notice they have Burnham Park. And really, this is, I guess, falls more in falls under like basically the idea to put the park someone in the government or in like an urban planning process. Like, yeah, question. Yeah, question. Yes.
Nagputol-putol ra ka, sir.
Okay, I'm dying. Okay, let's see. How about now?
Okay na,
Or okay
sir.
pa? Yeah. Okay. Nagwala. Lagi weird kayo. Oh my gosh. Maybe we have to. It's already 2:50. I just want to get through this without like the internet dying. If it happens again, I might just record this on my own and you can watch it later. Let me know if it happens again. Okay, okay. So, do. Am I still presenting? I'm still presenting. Okay. Na. Naparehan akong Ma'am Solis ani. Let's see. Yeah. So, just let's do a simplified view. So, notice Baguio City, you have the heart of the city here is really the park. Just looking at that. And then next to it would very clearly be public offices. Where is their city hall? Let's see, Baguio City Hall. Just a bit over here at the end of the park. So if you're going to stand here at the front of the park, you should be able to have a view of the city hall. It's covered by trees too much. So basically what I'm trying to really repeat to you guys, urban design is really the design of this space here, right here on your screen, the sidewalks, what kinds of railings, how high the railing should be, how wide the road should be, what are the types of trees, what views are we preserving or trying to showcase. So in this case, in this specific example, Burnham Park looks really good. That's a landscape architecture project. And over here, you can kind of see the city hall. I think that's the city hall over there. Much better if you stand over here. So this doesn't happen by accident, where you have a park that is connected to another smaller park, which is also connected to the city hall. So if you stand here, you can really see that this building, this piece of architecture is very significant and that it stands out among most of the other buildings here. I think the only critique I would have for this sort of implementation is that the trees are kind of messy. They're blocking, well, I think it's just the management of the trees. But aside from that, the building is very well framed. This monument, though, is kind of in the way. So maybe as like a shorter monument. So the whole point of urban design is to make sure that all the sight lines are preserved, etc., etc. So this is really the realm of urban design. And notice that I don't really highlight the surrounding buildings as much. They basically make the boundary of the design. So this whole thing over here, this is urban design. This whole thing, and then the buildings are just our walls, quote unquote walls, as Motin calls it. They're basically the frames that sort of what do you call this? Enclose the urban design. Okay. Okay na sir, kanina nagwala-wala. Oh, putol-putol na, put 250. How about now? Testing. Can someone confirm? Okay na sir. Okay. So I think I'll just have to record another summary just in case. But this will be good for me put so that I can like organize my thoughts. Okay. Let me stop recording here and start a new recording. That was for